Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a video here to talk about a 2013 horror movie that I've really wanted to revisit for a while now. I saw it in 2013 or 2014 whenever it had just come out to rent, and I had a lot of negative opinions about the film. I absolutely hated it at the time, and I wanted to go back to it because it's a Mike Flanagan movie, matter of fact. And I think Mike Flanagan's like the voice of modern day horror movies and shows at this point. So I was glad to get a chance to get a copy of this about 6 or 8 months ago and get a chance to revisit it about a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, this movie here is Mike Flanagan's Oculus. He directed the film. He also co-wrote it with a guy he had done some other work with in the past. And I wanted it for my collection, but let me tell you a little story. I went to a pawn shop locally and was looking around for films. Of course, they're dirt cheap at my local pawn shop, or at least this one. All the other ones are kind of going away, so it's like whatever. But I went in and I noticed as soon as I walked in, there were two gentlemen at the countertop. There was the one who worked there and the one beside him that was the customer, who were aiming a pistol, a revolver, at me. At least I thought it was at me. What they had actually been aiming at was the window to my left when I came in the door, and that was a window that I had just walked by. Now, for you folks who don't know anything about guns, any gun, rifle, pistol, anything, you aim it up, or you aim it down, or you at least aim it where nobody is in the room or in the area. You know what I mean? Just to be careful. You never have it aiming out, even if you're in the woods or anything like that, for safety. That is gun safety. You also never have your hand, your finger, on the trigger if you don't plan on killing somebody or shooting actively. And these guys could have easily blown me away when I walked in front of that window if something had gone wrong, God forbid. And I was pretty pissed. So immediately when I got in the store and I had the small heart attack I had, I took a right turn, I went over to the side, started looking through movies. After it occurred to me I was not being robbed, and neither was the store. So I felt better. And then as I dug through, I found two Mike Flanagan films, this movie and Ouija, and now I can't let go of them because of this experience that I got to have where I thought I was gonna die. Which I'd be cool with that, but I'm also like, it's pretty scary in the moment, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's get on to Oculus here. So Oculus is a haunted mirror movie, and I don't think we've ever really had a good one per se. You could argue this is probably the most well-made because even the worst Mike Flanagan movies or projects are well-made. This and Ouija are probably the bottom of the list for me, but this one is at least well-made, just like how Ouija is. Mike Flanagan's a good director. His talent really shines through in a lot of ways. Even here, in a movie that, to me, is not impressive at all. So anyway, let's get into the plot, I guess, a little bit, just briefly, spoiler-free as usual. Basically, there's a brother and sister. The sister's played by Karen Gillan from Guardians of the Galaxy and Jumanji's sequels. You know, she's Nebula in Guardians, in case you don't know. Phenomenal actress, probably the best actress in the whole movie. She always steals the show. And essentially, her brother just got out of like an asylum or a hospital for mental patients or whatever after he was convicted of murdering their parents 10 years, I believe, previously, something like that. And he just got out. He thinks he committed the murders, but she explains to him the day that she goes to see him that no, it turns out this haunted mirror that her dad had bought and brought into the house and everything had caused this, the death of their parents, and had framed it to make it look like the brother had committed these crimes. And they were young at the time, too. They're still young, but they were young then, too, like 10 and 8 and 9 years old, somewhere in there. But the film cuts back and forth between present day, 2013, and back when they were younger, and kind of showing the events of what happened in their household, how the parents weren't really getting along to begin with before the mirror came into the situation, and how they witnessed this mirror change things. It might mess with reality, it might mess with your mind. Apparently the mirror's power is that it can get into your mind, make you do things, and make you even see things, and it won't be till later on that you realize you did something. So, in the future tense, she tells the brother, hey, we're going to destroy this mirror. We tried to in the past, but now we're for sure going to do it, and we're going to battle its powers by putting cameras and stuff in the room to record the mirror and ourselves at the same time to prevent this thing from messing with our minds and pull in some tomfoolery. And it's kind of smart in that regard. For me, that's where the genius ends. from that point on, aside from a couple of examples here and there and some stuff that was in the marketing back in the day for the trailers. By the way, don't watch a trailer for this movie if you're planning on seeing it after this review. If I'm intriguing you at all, don't jump into a trailer. Just don't do it. I feel like it's going to ruin some of the best parts of the movie for you. No one said that when this movie came out. I'm a little pissed to this day, you know? But anyway, it's a brother and sister situation where they're thinking about their past a lot. They're having a lot of flashbacks to their past, what they remember, what may be wrong in their memory, trying to correct each other. The brother, coming out of this mental asylum, isn't really sure what he believes. Do you believe the sister? Do you believe something else? Some of the things they see are undeniable. Some things are unbelievable. But regardless, it's all supernatural, which makes this movie, it makes it mildly interesting. The problem that I have is that I'm not a big fan of either of the people playing the parents in the flashbacks. For one, the mom is played by Katie Sackhoff. For anybody who doesn't know, she's in a bunch of sci-fi and fantasy stuff over the years. She plays Bo-Katan in Star Wars Mandalorian nowadays. I've never, ever, ever been a fan of Katie Sackhoff. It's not a personal thing. It's not that I have some vendetta against her. I just don't think she's a good actress. I'll be honest with you. There are people out there that I don't understand how they've had the career they've had. I think as more comes out about Hollywood and currently P. Diddy, that we all probably know why. Not saying she is, or that she did anything. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is a lot of things become apparent over time as things come out about this this small nation in the U.S. called Hollywood. And then I see people like Christian Slater that I'm like, how did Christian Slater not have a bigger career? I mean, he was in big movies, but then he just vanished. He did Hollow Man 2. What? Some people, I think, deserve bigger careers, and I feel like nowadays, in hindsight, we all know why these things happened. But regardless, never been a Katie Sackhoff fan, to be honest with you. The guy playing the dad, not super crazy about him. He's in some things here and there, too. The kids playing the kids in the film. The kid characters, the kid versions of our main characters, they're pretty good. I like them. You know, they did a pretty solid job for what they had to do here. I think everybody does a decently competent job. But the family drama, I don't know how much better you could make a movie about a haunted mirror than this. Quality with the filmmaking, quality with the sound design sometimes, quality with the so-called scares, the so-called tension people claim is there that I just don't see it at all. You know, there's a tad bit of body horror, one scene in particular involving a light bulb. And that was in the old trailer and marketing. Again, don't look up the trailer. If you haven't seen the film, it's going to waste that kill. Not really a kill, I guess. It's going to waste that moment for you. But then the film, to me, wastes that moment anyway. So it's like, I don't know. It just kind of, the whole thing feels lame. It feels like early Mike Flanagan to me. It feels like a movie that doesn't have what it needs to be as compelling as Mike Flanagan projects typically are for me. I don't really think it's all that interesting, to be honest. I thought maybe this time around I would pick up on some things maybe in the background or whatever that I didn't pick up the first time when I saw this movie for the first time back in the day. To be honest with you, there's really just not much to the movie. And I think that's why I didn't like it that much back in the day. I think it's why I don't like it that much now. There's just really not a whole lot there that you could really be super, super engaged in. You know what I mean? Like, there's not enough happening in the movie for me. And on top of that, the movie is an hour and 45 minutes. This movie, if any movie ever, did not need to be an hour and 45 minutes. It just didn't. It needed to be like an hour and 20. Maybe an hour and 10. I couldn't have went to theaters if that was the case, but to me, that is about as much interest as this film has going for it. And it takes a little while to get going, too, to be honest with you. But overall, it's not really the cast's fault for this movie not being that great. It's really the overall script. It's the overall budget they had to work with. Again, there's some kind of clever things about it. But not really. I think it's just the overall idea of this haunted mirror movie that feels like something you would see come up on Tubi. You know what I mean? Like there was a Christmas, I think a year, maybe last year, maybe the year before, that there was like a slasher Nutcracker movie. Now, if you know me, I love Nutcrackers. At Christmas time, I have them all over the bookshelves and everything. That should have been right up my alley. I saw the movie, and it's literally like a guy in a mask. And not even like a slasher, just a guy in a mask. Like it's supposed to be the Nutcracker come to life. This feels like a concept that you would see on Tubi, but done with a bigger budget. Done by Mike Flanagan, but a stupid script. You know what I mean? That's what Oculus feels like to me, and I just don't like it. I'll be honest with you, I just don't like much about the movie. The house that they film in is very cozy. It really is. And it adds this what should be cozy feel to the movie that's just not because of the events of this haunted mirror thing. But I don't know how I feel about it. I can't figure out if I like the movie at all, really. I almost would put myself in danger of giving it a very, very low score, but I'm not going to go that low. To be honest with you, I don't think Oculus is really that kind of thing I'd recommend to you unless you're just checking out Mike Flanagan's filmography. It's not that great. It's not even that well shot, to be honest. It's just really, really, really underneath average to me. It really lets me down in every way. But again, I don't know what it could do to be improved. I just don't. And if some people act like that's a good movie that makes a movie perfect or something, no, not really. Not really. If I had to rate Oculus on a 5-star basis, obviously I don't recommend it. I couldn't give it more than a really low 2 out of 5 stars. I just don't think it deserves more than that. It just doesn't. There's a lot, but there's something in particular missing about it, and I don't really know what it is. The family drama and the tension is just not there for me. And I don't think it's as simple as like Katie Sackhoff being in the movie. There's just something about it that doesn't land for me. It never has. I don't think it ever will, matter of fact. And like I said, Ouija was not very good either, from what I remember. I may rewatch that sometime soon, I don't know. Probably not right now. But whenever I do, I'll be curious to see if that's any kind of improvement over Oculus. I don't think it will be. I remember that being way worse. But anyway, Oculus, what do you think about it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's the best Mike Flanagan film? If you say this is better than Hush, then you better hush. That's all I have to say to you. So anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.